These are 4 portable blenders at 4 completely different price points. And I'm here to find out which one is actually worth your money. So I'm running them through brutal tests on their blending power, noise, and portability. But even before the first test, one thing really shocked me. 2 of these portable blenders you can't even use unless you're plugged into a wall, including our cheapest one, the Hamilton Beach, which comes in at $22. The Hamilton Beach comes with 3 separate pieces. You have the blending base, which as I mentioned needs to be plugged in and has a power button on the front, the blending bottle, which just twists into the base right there and locks in place, and then last up the lid, which clicks onto the top for blending and for sipping later, and has a little slide on the top to open and close it. And overall, the Hamilton Beach weighs in at 747 grams. Our second cheapest blender is going to be the Nutribullet, and it comes in at $50, so more than twice as expensive. And out of the box, the pieces look very similar. You get, once again, the blending base, which turns on and runs through the power button, the blending container, which just attaches onto the blending base the same way, but twists on this time, and the lid to it, which also just twists on, but does have a little locking mechanism on the front to open it up and sip from this once it's ready, with the wide top there. And it's just a hair heavier than our Hamilton Beach. It comes in at 764 grams, but the important thing you might have noticed is this one is cordless. It gets charged up so you can run it without being plugged in. Definitely a huge benefit. And now for our second most expensive blender is going to be the Ninja Blast Max. You're going to see a common trend here. It comes with the exact same 3 pieces, the blending base, the blending container which twists on, and the lid, which also twists on like our last one. Now this lid does have a handle for carrying it around, and also a button on the front here which opens it up for drinking. It also does have 3 controls versus the 1 button in the previous 2 blenders, but it does weigh in over 1,000 grams here at 1,001 grams. And our most expensive blender is going to be the Beast blender. It comes in at $200. Now this blender comes with quite a few parts. You do have the blending base, and one thing you'll immediately notice is it has to be plugged in to run this one, which is not a good start for the most expensive blender. And then you have 3 separate blending containers, a small, a medium, and a large. Now each of the containers comes with a lid so that if you have something inside of it, you can seal it off and bring it with you. And a second type of lid that has a hole in the top right here with a slot for a straw. So you can take a straw, put it in, and then drink your smoothie or whatever you've made through the straw right here. And if you want this same type of lid, but you don't want to use a straw, you can actually take that off, drink right from it, and even bring the included cap with you to seal it off whenever you're done drinking from it. And then it also comes with a couple of tools for cleaning too. Now you will see that the Beast is significantly heavier as a portable blender. It's about 3 times heavier than our Ninja Blast Max, making it by far the heaviest one. But one thing worth noting is that you're not going to bring the whole system of the blenders with you after you make it if you want to bring them around. For example, you just need to bring 1 container with the Beast and only half of the Hamilton Beach. You don't actually need the blending bottom. So let's weigh all of those as well. Starting with our Hamilton Beach container, which comes in at 221 grams. The Nutribullet, you do have to bring around the whole system because the bottom of the container has a hole through it without the blending base, so that still stays at 763 grams to carry it with you. The Ninja gets significantly lighter without the blending base at 392 grams. And of course, the Beast is also significantly lighter at 661 grams for just the base. So for our portability test, which one of the blenders is best? To start off, I think the Beast and the Hamilton Beach have to be our bottom 2 strictly for the fact that they are corded and the other 2 are not. That is a huge downfall compared to the others and definitely makes them less of a portable blender. And to separate between those 2, the Hamilton Beach is significantly lighter than the Beast, even when you're just including the carrying cup from the Beast. So for that reason, I'm giving the Beast 4th place. It gets 1 point. The Hamilton Beach is in 3rd place for 2 points. And then distinguishing between these 2 is a really close call. As a whole blender, the Nutribullet is significantly lighter, but then once you actually have the blended smoothie, the Ninja Blast is significantly lighter than the Nutribullet. So it almost goes back and forth. However, If I was gonna bring these into the gym or into work or anything like that, I would wanna carry around the lighter one with the smoothie that's already made. So I'm gonna give Ninja the slight edge here. The Nutribullet gets second place and gets 3 points, and then Ninja gets first place for 4 points. But now for our first real test, I'm making the same protein smoothie in each of the blenders. Starting with half a cup of milk, 3 frozen strawberries and 3 frozen mangoes, and 1 scoop of protein powder. Get the lid on it, and now they're all prepared. Now I'm gonna run each of these blenders for about 60 seconds with no shaking, no reblending, and no mercy to them. Starting with our Hamilton Beach, here we go, which apparently you have to hold down the button to run. And even about 30 seconds in, this does look like it's fully blended, but I'm gonna give it the full 60 just to make sure that all tests are fair. And time. Next up, our Nutribullet. And honestly, this one looks like it's struggling a little bit more than the Hamilton Beach off the bat here. And it appears to have stopped on its own after 20 seconds, so I'm gonna try and continue it. Now it's giving me a flashing red icon. I had this charged about 75% of the way up, and it does maybe seem like it either died or just doesn't want to blend anymore, so we'll compare this one from here. Next up is our Ninja, and I'm gonna run it in smoothie mode since it has frozen fruit. I think that would make the most sense. Here we go. And this one seems to have an automatic pulse to it. As you can see, it kind of goes and then stops. I believe it uses some sort of technology to figure out when to pulse and when not to based on how it's blending up those ingredients. And the whole blender is shaking in circles with this one. That's how much power it has. But it seems like it stopped on its own about 38 seconds in. And last up, our Beast. And that one feels very aggressive blending compared to the other ones. Now this one has a 1-minute cycle, so about 20 seconds in it pauses for just a second and then continues again. And then about 45 or so seconds in, it's gonna do that same pause just to check on those ingredients and then continue once again to the 1-minute mark. And time, it finished its cycle. Starting with the pour from our Hamilton Beach. That's looking really nice and smooth there. And there's no ingredients left over. Next up, our Nutribullet, which did only want to blend for about 25 seconds. It looks significantly thicker, and there was a chunk in there too, but at least no ingredients left behind. Next up is the Ninja Blast Max. And that's looking really silky, a little bit thicker than the Hamilton Beach, but just super smooth. And finally, our Beast, our $200 blender, which feels even thicker, but also really smooth at the same time. So visually, aside from the Nutribullet, it's really hard to compare them. They all look super smooth. So let's do a taste test too and see if I notice the difference there. First up, the Hamilton Beach. It's actually a little bit almost too thick for a straw. It's hard to pull it through, but the consistency is super smooth. Next, the Nutribullet. God, it's hard. Now, weirdly, pulling this one through the straw is easier, but the actual texture of it feels much thicker, which I know doesn't really make too much sense, but overall, it feels a little bit creamier and a little bit smoother. Next, the Ninja. And I'm gonna be honest, the margins between these three so far are super slim to the point where I almost can't prefer one or the other, but this is the thickest one of the three so far for sure. So let's compare our last one, the Beast. This is 100% the smoothest of the 4 smoothies. Now, again, the margin is very slim and you'd probably be just as satisfied with any of them, but I have to give the Beast the first place for this. It gets 4 points. The Hamilton Beach and the Ninja are very, very close. Now, I will say I think the Hamilton Beach is slightly smoother, but it also did run for almost twice as long as the Ninja because the Ninja cut off at 38 seconds versus the Hamilton Beach at 60. With that being said, it was the Ninja's choice to cut off its test early. I'm gonna give the Hamilton Beach second place in this test for 3 points, the Ninja third place for 2 points, and because the Nutribullet left a chunk behind, it's also, I believe, the least smooth just by a hair. I'm gonna give it last place for 1 point. Now, just to be completely sure, I plugged the Nutribullet in and re-ran another cycle with the smoothie, and it ran again for the same 22-second cycle, and it was still a little bit chunky after those 22 seconds. It still was not the smoothest, so I'm keeping it in 4th place, and let's move on. Oh, and by the way, cleanup was is really easy across the board. Just a little bit of soap and hot water and they all rinse clean pretty quickly. Now smoothies are one thing and they're great because I like to make them almost every day. But now let's stress test these blenders with just straight ice, 20 seconds and no help. And I'm gonna put about 10 ice cubes into each of the blenders for the test. And while they're grinding through the ice, I'm also gonna measure how loud each of them gets. Because who wants a portable blender that sounds like a lawnmower? And here we go, let's blend our first one with the Hamilton Beach and watch the sound. And that is gonna be time. This one peaked at around 112 decibels. Next up, our Nutribullet. The Nutribullet doesn't seem to want to blend the ice at all. And I guess Nutribullet's gonna have to disqualify itself from both the ice and the noise test because it just simply won't go. Next up is our Ninja. I'm gonna run it on crush setting because it's crushing ice. Time on that one, and that got pretty loud, upwards of 120 decibels. And last up, our Beast. It's significantly quieter than the Ninja for sure. And that'll be about 20 seconds. And this one also peaked at about 112 decibels. So in fourth place for our noise test is our disqualified Nutribullet. It did not want to blend the ice at all and just got totally jammed. It gets 1 point. In third place is the Ninja Blast at 120 decibels. It was very, very loud. It gets 2 points. And tied for first is the Hamilton Beach and the Beast. They both get 4 points for this test. And now for the results of the ice test, which one blended it the best. Starting with our Hamilton Beach, and those are pretty much just pure ice cubes still. It basically didn't blend it at all. Next up, the Ninja, and that is so much of a slushy. I don't know if it's even gonna come out. Oh, there you go. You can see just super blended ice. It almost looks like ice for a snow cone. I wouldn't want it any more blended than this. Next up, our Beast. Get this one into a bowl. And honestly, that looks about the same to me as the Ninja. Putting them side by side, I really cannot tell a difference between the two of these. So overall for our ice test, once again, our Nutribullet disqualified gets 1 point, or maybe it should be 0, but we'll give it the honorary point. In third place, the Hamilton Beach for 2 points, and tied for first is our Ninja and our Beast. They both get 4 points. So now that we've completed all the tests, let's see how each blender ranks overall and which one I'd recommend. Because the winner on paper isn't always the one I'd want to use every day. In fourth place overall is our Nutribullet, which isn't surprising. It failed our last 2 tests and didn't do great with the smoothie either at 6 total points. In third place came our Hamilton Beach at 11 points, which honestly, it put up a good test for only being $22 at our cheapest blender. Just 1 point higher was our Ninja Blast Max at 12 points. It gets second place today. And our overall winner with 13 total points is gonna have to be the Beast today. Now, scoreboard aside, which one would I recommend? Let's start off with the Nutribullet. This is overhyped is the best thing I can say about it. I would not get this blender. Hamilton Beach didn't win on paper, but if you're looking for the best value, or I'd say a cheap blender that works pretty well, I can definitely recommend it. It did a pretty good job. And then it comes down to our final two, which both excelled pretty well through each of the tests. Now, if budget doesn't matter to you and you're okay plugging it in whenever you have to blend, the Beast is clearly our best blender here. Plus with the Beast, you're getting all those extra accessories so you can actually have kind of 3 different smoothies that you make at one time and then bring them with you whenever. However, for me personally, I'd rather save over $100 and get a blender that I can blend on the go wherever I am and have no issues with it running and needing power. So for that reason, the Ninja is going to be my winner today. I recently also tested a bunch of standing blenders, which honestly falls more in line with what the Beast actually feels like to me. And if you want to see a comparison of all those standing blenders, you should check that out right here.